Great state of Arizona. We're going to miss you dearly. I wish you would reconsider because you're a great member of this committee. But I'll recognize you for 5 anyhow.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and you still have to put up with me for 11 more months, so I'm here till the end of my term. Thank you to all of you for coming here and testifying today and spending hours with us. My first question is for Mr. Baker. Mr. Baker, Riley Gaines, a former 12-time NCAA All-American swimmer, recently hand-delivered a petition with over 70,000 signatures, and this letter that I'm holding up to the NCAA. And I'm going to briefly read a couple things that are in this letter. It was dated January 11th, 2024. To President Charlie Baker and the NCAA Board of Governors. We write on behalf of a coalition of women's organizations to demand that the NCAA meet with female athletes adversely affected by its discriminatory practice of allowing male athletes on women teams. Without single-sex competition, there can be no equal athletic opportunity. The NCAA knows this, yet it continues to propagate a policy that allows male athletes on women teams. We renew our demands to the governing body to repeal all policies and rules that allow male athletes to take roster spots on women's teams and or compete in women's events, and establish and enforce the right of female athletes to participate in sports based on sex, and require its member institutions to provide single-sex locker rooms for female athletes. The NCAA has not acted on any of these demands, and instead, women's rights have been further eroded. My question to you, sir, will you commit to meeting with the women athletes as requested in this letter?
Sure.
My next question is, will the NCAA make the changes requested in this letter?
I mean, just for your own information, every single NCAA championship, the host community and the host institution and the host organization under our current rules is required to provide safe and secure accommodations to all athletes. And if athletes are looking for specific solutions to deal with concerns that they have, they're going to get them. And we should never be in a position where we're putting somebody in a position where they feel they're not safe, period. I can't speak to what happened before I got here, but those are the rules as they stand right now.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, Ms. Riley Gaines in recent media articles had said that she had sent you a letter back in January of 2023, so a year ago, and that she had not received a response. And so she was disappointed that she, even though you said those things, that she hadn't gotten a response and nothing's really changed.
Well, my first year, my primary objective was to do something nobody had ever done before in my job, which was to meet with all 97 conferences, which was obviously a big lift, and to get a sense from them about what the key issues and opportunities associated with college sports were. And I've spent dozens of hours with current student athletes. And as I said in my opening answer to your first question, if folks want to have an open conversation about issues associated with college sports and women's sports generally, we'll figure out how to make that happen.
Well, good. I hope it happens soon. I'll call them right when I'm done with this hearing and let them know you're willing to meet with them.
Okay.
Next question is for Commissioner Jackson. In your testimony, you advocate strongly for increased transparency into NIL. I've heard from some of my colleagues across the aisle that such transparency would be used by bad actors to set athlete compensation. However, Section 102 of the discussion draft would include requirements that the USIAC may not fix student-athlete compensation. How would those claims conflict with the duties on the USIAC, and why do you believe sunlight is the best disinfectant?
Well, again, we're not trying to get specific information. The student-athletes who would be participating in this, as I understand the draft, would be under anonymity. So we're just trying to get a general idea of where things are in regards to a market value. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't really see this as being something that is overly invasive. On our campuses, we get information all the time from student athletes, whether it's their academic information. It's pretty commonplace on a college campus. So again, just trying to do a better job of making sure that we can keep them safe, making sure that we understand what's transpiring, and allowing them to be, to have good decision-making process in how they decide things.
Thank you. And with 12 seconds, I think I'm over my time. I yield back.
Thank you very much. Appreciate